Uh-oh, guess what's next? Guess what's next? Boom, 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 boom. Oh, it's Baby Driver. I kind of wanted to structure this list in the same way that the movies came out, because just like going through the year, you don't know what your favorite movie's going to be, and you don't know what you're going to feel about the movie until they come out. So structuring it, I wanted to structure it like that instead of a list, and then it's just like a little surprise, like a little nugget. Like, oh, so this one's my favorite movie this year, is by far. And that's not saying that, because this year honestly was a fucking great year for movies. Much better of a year than it was for video games. And I'm fucking tired of people who say, start off every single fucking list that you go to, top 10 movies this year. It's, this year was a great year for whatever the fuck they're talking about. But this legitimately was a really good year for movies, which is why I'm talking about movies and not video games. I can think of like 5 good games that came out, and it's not Breath of the Wild, and then when I didn't put Breath of the Wild on, people are gonna fucking be like, Breath of the Wild, and then I have to be like, Breath of the Wild fucking sucks, and my whole goddamn thing gets just spammed with dislikes. That's not relevant to Baby Driver, and I'm sorry to bring that in the Baby Driver segment. Baby Driver's a real fucking good movie. I've seen it 3 times, despite the fact that I'm moving to Australia, like I said before, and I don't really have much of a reason to buy Blu-rays right now. I bought the Blu-ray, despite knowing that it's gonna be hard to take over, and it's not even gonna fucking work on the Blu-ray players there. I still bought the Blu-ray just to fucking support this movie. The only other Edgar Wright movies that I've seen are Shaun of the Dead and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Scott Pilgrim, my favorite movie of all time, and I really liked Shaun of the Dead. It was a while ago that I've seen it, but I really liked it. I need to watch the Cornetto trilogy. But regardless, it wasn't like I specifically held Edgar Wright in such this high regard that I went in forcing myself to like this movie. This is one of those movies that initially I fucking loved it. There was some things that kind of bugged me, and then I watched it, and I watched it again, and it's just like, there's so many fucking little things that are so amazing about this movie. Just little touches, out of any other movie, the movie this year that, or fucking ever, that actually gives a fucking shit about everything that it does. I didn't even know this going into it the first 2 times, but the last chase sequence in the movie, the honestly probably second best one, first being the fucking opening, was filmed entirely on Edgar Wright's own money because he ran out of budget and the studio refused to pay for another day of filming. If that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about how fucking passionate he was about this movie, I don't know what else I can say. It oozes fucking passion. Like, just, it's just something that just you don't get with movies. Even other ones that have obvious intent and obvious passion put into it, it's just, this one just fucking goes above and beyond just about every other movie I think I've fucking ever seen, except maybe Scott Pilgrim, which is why that's my favorite movie of all time. Just about every director is willing to say, like, okay, well, I'll sacrifice the quality of this part for some sort of convenience sake, even if it's something tiny, and I really don't feel like Edgar Wright did that in the slightest for Baby Driver. And there's so much of it that just wows me, like, going back again and again and seeing the scenes online, and just like little things, little points that he foreshadows and background details that just so fucking amazing. It's like a goddamn clock that fucking could run for the heat death of the universe and never be off time by a second, something like that. If that makes any sense, probably not. Kind of like Shaun of the Dead is a good zombie movie and a good parody of zombie movies. This is a good heist movie as well as a parody of heist movies, where satirical parody of the genre with doing enough that it'd be good even if it wasn't that. To not spoil anything, just based on the synopsis of the movie, you're always given the perspective of Beatty, Ansel Elgort, who is the driver who never gets directly involved in these heists and waits outside, and where every other movie would cut to the action inside and focus on this part. That part takes the back seat to the driving and the character who's behind the wheel. And so in that sense, it's like it takes your expectations of what you want out of a heist movie, completely fucking flips them. Something to mention I'm sure people aren't going to see this just because Kevin Spacey's in it, just because he's a fucking big piece of shit. I really want to encourage you, if you haven't seen it, see it not because Kevin Spacey's in it, but because a passionate, fucking amazing director made a movie that Kevin Spacey happened to be cast in. Like, it's not Edgar Wright's fault that Kevin Spacey is a piece of shit. Don't take it out on this fucking amazing movie. I understand the very, very, very end people not liking, and I can understand that perspective, and I can respect that perspective, but personally, I think there isn't a better ending. The way that it ends is so foreshadowed and so necessary that I don't think the movie would work quite the same without it. Obviously, the music, I am a big music guy, and I've even, since I was like maybe 12 years old, I've had the idea for like an animated series synced to music that's very similar, so to see this fucking idea utilized is a dream come true to me. I've always, like, if you look at my fucking old channel, old second channel, which I don't even know if you can find anymore, I used to make AMVs. I made an AMV on my new second channel just this year, and, you know, they're obviously not great or to the extent of something like this in the slightest, but that's something that I've always, like, syncing up to music and having the emotions of a song deliberately set the tone for what characters are feeling or for what the story is trying to say. It is something that I've always wanted to see, and it's never been done in this way. And also, even though I'm pretty much into just about any type of music, the only song that I knew going into this was Easy Like Sunday Morning, despite the fact that most of these are like fucking hits. And obviously I know Queen, but I'd never heard Brighton Rock before. Fucking love that song now. That's one of the great things about it, is that if you're someone who only likes very limited genre of music, I feel like this will expand your tastes. Or even if you're like, I wouldn't normally like this song, it's something like, with the scene, I'm actually enjoying it. And I feel like for a lot of people, it's very easy to stay in the same genre and never expand their taste. So I feel like this movie will help people who are very limited in the music they listen to understand that so much more than what you listen to has a lot of passion going into it and has a lot of value, and you don't have to expand your music taste, but you're missing out if you do that. But cinematography's fucking gorgeous, color design's fucking gorgeous, costume design's fucking gorgeous. It's one of the best movies just to look at ever. I could just watch this movie on repeat, maybe forever, and I don't think I'd get sick of it. I think I should stop now because I probably would talk about this movie forever if I didn't. So obviously I'm not going to recommend this one. Baby Driver sucks. Fuck you.